Yeah, hello. Welcome back to the grind. Me and Paul, and the myself and Paul. What? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, and the TR7. So worked on it. The exhaust leaks, got them solved. I think they're pretty quiet there now. Seems to run okay. Got a new set of air filters put on it, and then alternator. Tried to fix it, put new bearings in it, and then this part here broke off. Failure, 100% failure. So ordered a new one. This was broken before or cracked before, so like I wasn't the first person to break it. And cast aluminum and the little part where it hooks onto the car has to be an exact fit, and I think it was pulling in for all the time a little bit and making it pressure fit instead of a solid fit. Anyhow, new alternator coming from Rimmer Brothers. Not here yet, will be a few days. Otherwise though, everything is complete on it. Just have to put the new alternator in, and then it's ready for safety inspection. Okay, so stick around, see everything I did. Mostly it was all those exhaust leaks, which were a bit tedious, but got them fixed. And a lot of work on the alternator. I took the alternator all apart, put new bearings in it, and you know, just about was happy until I tried to install it and the bracket fell apart. Oh well. See you later. Enjoy it all. Yeah, time to start another week, or another episode anyhow. Not necessarily a week, I think it's Tuesday today. July 2nd, yep. Anyway, car was running as of yesterday and running quite well, but as you know, it wouldn't be a British car if it didn't have that happening. Now that's right up around about the oil pump somewhere. Likely the seal's in there somewhere. What'll I do about it? I don't know. I might just take it apart, and I might just, you know, if things are good, I might just get a new oil pump for it, which would be a good thing to do, likely. We'll just see. I'll think about that. See what they want to charge you for an oil pump for this thing. Otherwise, that's the only leak I've found in water or oil. So I think we're okay, right? And radiator all looks okay. So I think now I just have to, right there, can you see that? Yeah, right here is where it's got an exhaust leak. So I'll see if I can take that apart and get some yucko goopy stuff on there to seal that, and then try it again, see what happens. I don't think it was up there. It seems that all the ones up there are okay. I don't see any leaks up there, but you can't. Very difficult to tell sometimes, eh? Okay, that's what's happening right now. Otherwise, now and then, I'll get the rest of it put together and see how things work out. Get the electrics working right again, eh? That's, you know, the god of darkness, eh? Oh well, we'll just see what we can do about getting that all going again. Mostly it's grounds and stuff like that get not great. There, hey. See if I can get that sealed up properly. And what it is this not much of a nut there, and it's not tightening down properly. The other two nuts seem to be tightening down properly. So I think I'll change this for a different type. If I can find one. I think I have one here that'll work. And take a look and see. Is that, where am I here? Can you see me? Oh, just my whole hand right there. Right there? Is that? This bit. Right here. Yeah. That bit there is the put back together again with, we hope it's gonna, it looks like the orange stuff squicked out of there, so that would mean it's sealed. This thing here is going to have a leak until such time. This will have a leak here until such time as, well, right there. So such time as I feel like fixing that, which I'm not too fussed about, because if it doesn't leak there, if it doesn't leak right there, it's going to leak somewhere else, right? So we won't worry about it too much. I think the water's okay. I saw, Henry, you were having an awful lot of trouble with that water pump, and when you were installing it, I was yelling at the screen that I didn't think it was right, but I guess, yeah, oh, that's really disappointing there. Hopefully you get it right this time here. I think that it just wasn't not seated right on you, but that's why I didn't take out the water pump on mine. There's pieces left over. Anyway, I think these were the what do you call it, for holding on the manifold right on the old one. Exhaust manifold, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one here was an exhaust. No, that's not. Anyhow. And then these were intake manifold ones. So there's not really that much left over, right? Anyhow. Wonder what that one was for. It'll become apparent sometime. This was on the exhaust manifold, I remember that. That's exhaust manifold. So most of the pieces are used, and these things here, well, that one's just, that's not even part of the car, but that might have been part of the on the nut off the keeper for the camshaft, or the old camshaft. There's a bunch of them, should be 6 or 8 of them around. Anyway, that's the bunch of them. That's the leftovers, I think. And then this thing here is leftover. I wonder what the hell that goes. That was on the alternator somewhere. Don't know what it was doing, but I'll figure it out sometime. These two things are for the exhaust, for the air cleaners onto here. We'll just see about that sometime soon. And what else is going on? I think that's pretty near it altogether. There should be a spring that goes from here to back there, and that should be tightened down. So I'll do that soon. Otherwise, it's all together. I'll put the hood back on, and well, first this is the stupidest thing in the world, this thing. Maybe I should just tie it back there somehow. I don't know. I want to tie the wires that, see these wires down here? I want to tie them up somewhere out of the way somehow, so they don't get into, am I pointing right? They don't get into the exhaust system, right? Because they're all around the exhaust system. I'll see what I can do about. Don't guess I could tie them to the wouldn't be a good idea to tie them to the steering linkage, would it? No, I don't think so. I think we'll just figure it out. I'll figure out something. Anyway, that's motoring, and I'm not going to start it for a little while because I want to wait until that cures a little bit in there. Okay, but I will work on getting some of the electrics working again. See what works and see what doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Do any of you remember from way back when I did sort of rewire the thing? I put a modern type fuse box in here and just rewired all the circuits to be the same, but with a modern fuse box. And that seems to work okay for everything. And this fuse here, I just unhooked it. That's the fuse for the, what do you call it? For the electric fuel pump. So I just unhooked that, and then I can turn on the electricity here. But I'll unhook the power to the coil. No, it doesn't really matter with this one because it's not, well, I don't know if it matters or not. So maybe I'll unhook the power to the coil so that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't, this thing here, that goes to the electronic ignition thing. So I'll unhook that so that it doesn't get hurt. And I'll see if I can track down some of this wiring business now. See if I can make stuff work. make it work again, right? We'll just see what actually does work here. So there, the ignition's on, and headlights are this one, are they? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's this one. Oh yeah, there's headlights. Look at that. Got headlights. Only one beam on that side. Why would that be? Something's ticking. Let's see what we got for. The blinker working up there. Oh, we got parking light there, right? Blinker, parking light there. Hang on, I'll get around here. There's too much stuff in the way now. Well, there's parking light there. That's a good sign. Light there. Did I see that one? Yeah, and there's a light back there. Yeah, so things are working. This thing here. No beam on the other side. What's happening? There's a parking light. There's a blinker light. Right. So we got blinker lights working. Try the other way around. Yeah, things can't be all bad. Maybe it's just a matter of getting it, making it all happy again, right? Oh yeah, there's. Now I wonder if the brake lights work. I'll just see. I'll turn off all the overhead lights and then be able to see the reflection back here. Right? We hope. I'll turn off that blinker. Then get in here and see about the brake light. Get a leg in here. Oh boy, oh boy. Sometimes I'm just not tall enough, am I? Can't reach it. Gotta get myself redone here. I'm on the wrong side of the lift, right? Oh boy, there. Come on. Get around here. Get this leg in here. You don't really need to see this fight, do you? I think that's brake lights. Hang on until I turn off all the other lights. That thing there doesn't go down very well. Yeah, that's brake lights. They work. Reverse light work? I wonder. Where's reversing this thing? Shit, I really don't remember. Is there a diagram anywhere for it? Maybe that's reverse. I don't know. Might be. See if there's any reverse lights there. I might be third or fourth. I don't know. Oh, what a fight to get in and out of this thing. See what's going on here. No, that's not reverse lights anyhow. We'll just... The brake lights worked. I'll just play around and find out where reverse is. Yeah, look at that. There's reverse. So, reverse is way over there and up. Then it's five gears, like so. Then I think that's first, second, third, fourth. Then you go against the spring for fifth. So spring against it for reverse, and the spring against it for 5. So that's good. They all work. What else do I have to have working for inspection? The horn? I wonder where the horn is. Oh, that's the wiper washers. They work. Maybe we need wipers too. They work. Horns on the other side, maybe. Let's see. So far I just have one headlight burnt out, or oh, there the headlight went down. The headlight went down too. Thing is weird. That works. Now emergency flashers. Where's that? This one here. That seems to be flashing. See what happens. See if they're all going. None there. but it works on the blinker. That one works. Neither of them on that side work. Is that a British thing? Oh, I don't know. Know that that switch was. They're working now. Just a matter of using the switch a couple of times, because the switch, like, it just, if you don't use it, it forgets its job, right? Wonder what that is. I think that's lights. That's fog lights, which doesn't exist on this car. So, well, there. Holy shit, everything works. I think, except for one headlight. And that might work if I play with it a couple more times. We'll just see. Okay, I'll let you know how I make out with that bit of a news. Life, just a little bit of jiggling in the wires down here. And it connected. I've got the air filters on, which are about the ugliest air filters on the planet, but that's what I have. So that's what's going to be there for a while, till I think about it. And the only thing left to put on is the hood. And I'll start it up now and just see if it is any quieter than it was, or if it's still leaking somewhere in the exhaust. We'll find out soon. I didn't solve the exhaust leak. I'll have to look into that some more, find out where it is. Well, it's driving, and steering's really tight. Don't know why that would be, because it was okay last year, but I'll check into that. That's more stuff to do before I get it inspected, but it's running and it's together, so I'm happy about that. And I did not fix the exhaust leak. Got lots of power. Oh, hold on a minute. I'll get it back in the shop. Yeah, so another exhaust leak is right there. So I'll get that fixed up tomorrow, I guess. And I'll see if I can figure out what's going on with the steering. It's very tight, heavy steering. Otherwise it seems to be okay. It's responsive on the throttle, noisy, but I'll have to put goopy goop all over all those gaskets there, I guess, and tighten down. This one here seems to be cured, so I'll just pull the whole thing off and away. Anyway, that's for tomorrow. Here I am back at it, and onto the TR7, right? So I've got an exhaust leak right here. You can see, you could hear it and see it and everything. So need to put goopy goop on that. I've got that one there all gooped up. I thought that was it, but there was more than one. So what I'll do now is I'll take out these bolts, then I'll lift it up and undo it from down at the bottom, and that'll slide out of there. It might just slide away anyhow, even when I take out those bolts. We'll just see what happens. To stop the leak on exhaust, I've got them tightened in well. It's hard to, you can't get a torque wrench on any of that stuff anyhow. You can on a couple of these ones, but anyhow, they're tightened in well. And then I was able to find on eBay, I was able to find replacement covers for these for like 20 bucks each. So that's on the way. And they've got new air filters in them, right? Should go and get a new battery for the thing. I've got an old battery there that needs to be traded in. $20 for the core. And if I did, I could take apart this alternator and likely put new bearings in it, and it'd be fine, because the I'm not sure what kind of shape the, what do you call those things? Oh dear me, there's a name. brushes are in, but it wouldn't hurt to take that apart. And also, it wouldn't hurt to take apart the steering rack and make that so that it runs more smoothly. More smoothly? Is that the right answer? Yeah. How did I get that apart? Did I ever have that out of the car? I don't think I ever. I know I unhooked it, but I think I just hung it in there while I was working on the motor, while I was working on everything. So you have to undo a bolt there, sort of slide that into that. Then it'll slide off there. It'll slide off this end, and then you can take off the rack. And you just have to pull the what do you call those things? The tie rod ends. Don't even have to pull the tie rod ends. All you have to do is unscrew them. I'll think about it a bit before I do it, but I likely will do it. I will, however, don't know if I'll do it today or next week. We'll see. You hear that? That's the alternator making all that noise, so I guess I'll take that off. I sort of looked at the, what do you call that, the steering linkage, and I think it's okay. I think it just needs to be run a bit because it's all just a little bit stiff in there. But otherwise, I've stuck my stethoscope, which is this thing here. I just put it in like that, and then put my ear to it, and you can hear lots of noise out of that. Up here, if you put it on here, it's very quiet. So, and then in the like up where the valves are and stuff, all nice and quiet. So things are good there. I haven't had it down to the bottom of the motor, but I can't hear anything down there anyhow. I'll put it down there and see if there's any noise. It's all normal noises. So the only noisy thing is this alternator here. So I should pull that off and see if I can change get new bearings for it, which would be a good thing to do. I'll just check it out and see what I can find. Just seems that thing there, when it was charging, it was making way more noise. Now that it's got the battery charged up again, making less noise, so that would be that. And all the lights have miraculously come back to life, so I think we're okay there. There is some under the dash here like that. Temperature gauge never moves, and it used to work, so I might have to take the dashboard out and see if I can fix that. Lights are off, but for the most part it sounds good, it looks good, feels good. Sounds okay back here. I'll just put my paper towel test on there and see how it looks. Hang on. Yep, paper towel is white, so that's the way it should be. So I think we got it pretty well going. And I don't see any leaks except for that one that we talked about before. Oil leak at the oil pump. So this thing, alternator, needs fixing. I won't do anything about the steering for now, and I need to get a temperature gauge working properly on it, so I don't have to use my handheld device. 171 there, 158 above, so it still hasn't. I think that the thermometer in there, what do you call that thing? It's a anyhow. I think it's 180 degrees. 134 there. 119 on the rubber. 167 on the water pump. 171 on the inflow, so it must be running. Must be, yeah, 74. 174. Same temperature on both sides of the thermostat. That's what it is, isn't it? And the exhaust is 500 degrees. 425 right now. 460 on the number 1. 525 on number 2. 390 on number 3. And 374 on number 4. 449. 530. 523. I don't know what to make of that. 512. So 262 on the motor part. 302. 246, 252. Anyhow, that seems to be okay. 218 on that spark plug. 219, 235, 232, 231. 213, so they're all about the same. So I think we got it. I think it's running okay. Yeah, so I'm fairly happy with that now. I will take out the alternator, but I won't do it today. I'm going to pull this out of here and put it in the other shop for a little while, and bring the force back in and replumb the brakes once again. This thing here, I'll check and see what it costs for a new alternator, but I might be able to just change the bearings, and that'd be a cost-effective way out. Plus, it needs a battery. So, but I'll wait till Paul and Carolyn are coming. So I'll wait till Paul's here, and he'll help me get the hood back on without scratching everything up like I did last time. Maybe, right? But for the most part, it seems to be okay. We'll put it in the running pile, right? Yeah, there. Now, for this side here, the only thing making noise is the alternator. I've put my ear to all the bearings in there where I could, and it all seems to be okay. All the noises are normal, so I think we're good. And everything's turning okay. One of these days we're going to need a new muffler, but that'll be a while yet. I think we're in pretty good shape here. I unhooked the electric fuel pump. It's just sucking with the mechanical fuel pump. I think we're okay. I think everything is... That would be a car. We'll let it back down and pull it out. There, good for the day. Got the TR7, and I'm going to take out the alternator today and see if I can get it apart and see if it's rebuildable or if I have to get another alternator. In the meantime, Paul and Carolyn got here, and he's building a piece, making a piece for his Moto Guzzi. It's going to be looking like this thing here, pretty close when it's done. And we've got a piece of rod. The rod can go right through the lathe, and cut the grooves into it, and then we'll cut each one in right through the pipe, and then put the face them and put a drill hole in it. So that's what's going to happen there. Turn her up a bit. one of them is measured out to the same depth. 17. That's another one done. Anyway, there we go. Paul's a machinist. Yeah, the lathe going in the background there, you can hear. Anyhow, these things here, they were on eBay, and they were for a smaller diameter intake. So I did a little bit of reconstructing on them to make them fit a hole like that. And because these old ones here were exceptionally ugly and bent and all that kind of stuff, they likely still worked okay, but I put these ones on and they seem to be pretty good. It's got a bolt going through, so I just did a lot of reconstruction on them. I put an extra nut on the end of it there to hold this so that when you take that off, the whole thing doesn't fall apart. Anyway, it's pretty good. I think they'll work for a while. Now I'll get this alternator out of here again and see if I can do some fixing up on that. Yeah, I've got that the lathe running in the background, so you might not hear this, but if you listen close, that's pretty noisy, that thing there. Oh, the lathe is off. Listen here. So I'll see if I can pull this apart and figure it out. Yeah, so there, this comes off with a little bit of work. Then it's got a Woodruff key in here, right? So you take that off. Now this backing, there's a bolt there and a bolt there to hold this plastic on. And then there's these bolts right here. 3 of those, or 4 of them. 3, maybe. Or 2, and 3. Anyhow, so then I'll take them off and see what happens. We'll just keep on going. Oh, I'll get all sorts of magnetic stuff on there. Good idea, Lauren. Yeah, so this used to be, see that's, the brushes are in there. This one here hits the center pin. This one here hits the outside pin. And the brushes are in fine shape. They still have lots left on them. They'll go back on there. This wire here goes on that little bolt right there. This wire here plugs into that one right there. And then that's the, looks like a rectifier or a regulator, heat sink, I guess. So now I'll see if I can get it to come apart, and I'll clean up that brush a little bit, because you can see this brush here, and it's supposed to be on there. So I can clean those off with a little bit of emery board or something, just to make them a bit cleaner. Or like not even emery board, just Scotch-Brite. Anyway, we'll just carry on. I'll take that bolt. There's 1 bolt right there. 1 bolt right there. 3 bolts, and then this should split, we hope. Oh, there, see? He's there, that's for sure. Now, I got this all apart, and there's bits and pieces. This one here, this piece here was on here, soldered onto there and there, and it's got this bearing underneath it here. The other end, this end of it down here, that bearing came out of all this bits. This part here all came out as a unit. So you push the, I guess that's called the armature. Is that an armature, or is that the armature? One of them's an armature. Anyhow, this bit here just came right off the back, along with all the electrics, which I had first removed. Oh boy, hey. This part here, which I think I showed you, the regulator, or the brushes and stuff in the regulator, would be that. Anyway, I'm trying to get this bearing off of here, but I don't want to break. I'm pretty sure that's a plastic fitting underneath there, and I don't want to break it. So we'll see what I can find to pull that bearing off of there without breaking something else. One thing I could do is I could weld a little bit of a lip on here, and weld a little bit of a lip on there, and then use a puller for it, right? How about that? Would that be a good idea? We'll just see what I can do before that. Yeah, so I took a soldering gun, got the solder off that. That sort of just slides right on there easy. And it's held on with pressure, and it won't come apart later. So you just put, I don't think it matters which side goes where. They're both black wires. It doesn't seem to, I don't think they care. I wonder if they do. I don't remember which one went where anyhow. There's one size bigger than the other. So I do believe that wire came off that side. And that wire came off this side. So that's the way I'll put them back together. That wire goes to the big one. That wire goes to the little one. Okay. Then after that, I used this puller here, was able to slide right underneath the bearing, and that just pulled it out with the tool attached. Everything worked fine.
Medication now to
yeah, to function. Anyhow, here we are. We were talking about medication here. I need medication. These are the bearings. They're both exactly the same. And I'll take them into the bearing store tomorrow and see if they can find a set like that or order a set. And then we'll clean up all this stuff and put it back together, and maybe it'll work. We hope it will. And then Paul's doing the strippo act there, getting dressed again into his civvies. And city slicking clothes. And we'll leave this for today and come back to it tomorrow. Looking down in there. Anyhow, this is the broken rotor. This thing here wasn't broken, but I got a new one anyhow. And put it on. This is, well, that's the distributor cap. This is the rotor, right? So they're on in there. Paul's back on the lathe. And I'm going to put this thing here back together. I was able to go into town and get new bearings for it. So I'll put them in, and we'll see how we go from there. I'm on the alternator. These are the new bearings. $4 each. You know, big bucks. So I'll put this all together and I'll see if I can remember how that goes. This one goes to the big side. Okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah, so here we are. There's a little metal sort of thing there. It looks like this here. That there. And underneath it, it's got a felt type of a washer underneath that. Then this rubber goes in here. Then next up is the bearing, and I'll get that pressed in there. As long as I'm not using the old one yet, that's a new one. Then, so I used a little bit of this like wheel grease, red grease, onto the back of that felt just to hold it so it wouldn't fall out of place. That goes on, and then next is this thing here goes on, and then this clippy thing goes on. So we'll get that all put together and see where we go from there. Oh yeah, I picked up a new battery, a Canadian Tire, the right size battery, and then I'll build a clamp for it to hold it down. It's supposed to have a thing in there and a thing over here somehow. So we'll see if I can figure that out. And it's charging up to 14.6, so that's good. Anyhow, I got this without too much wrecking on here. That's nice and quiet. Now I have to get this part on here. Now first off, I got to put the bearing on there, don't I? Be smart. Yep, be smart to put the bearing on there first. I'll do that. Yeah, there we go. I cleaned off all this stuff, just a little bit of light sanding. Then this wire goes on here, and this wire goes on here. So I'll just get them soldered back on, and the bearings on there. It just presses on. Well, it didn't even press on. I just used a socket and gave it a couple of nice gentle taps to get on there. Yeah, I got this in my hand, and I've got it marked, two light white marks there, and a white mark right there. Then I've got this soldered back on, just soldered that and soldered that. I think that's the way it goes. Cleaned this off reasonably well. Sort of just gave that a light cleaning in there because I don't want to get rubbing around the winding too much because that could lead to trouble. Then this thing here will just pop on here, we hope. We're, you know, five-handed thing here, but right about. It is magnetized, that thing, so I've got to get it. Two-handed operation, hang on. Yeah, there, it's all sort of together here, sort of, and it turns, right? I had it too tight this way, so it was binding and wasn't turning, so I pounded it back a bit. And I think it's in the right spot now, but might take a bit more adjusting. These seem to be tightened in where they were supposed to be. Everything here looks like it's right. So I'll put the electrics back on it and see what happens. Yeah, that's back on. A couple of little bolts hold that on, and then the electricity stuff goes in here from the outside. Then this turns. I'll put that on tomorrow on that very ugly yellow thing fan. Put that on tomorrow along with everything else that goes together. We'll just see how things work out, because this is supposed to be on there, isn't it? Oh, am I ever dumb sometimes? But that's a normal piece of the action around here is dumbness. So that's pressed down way too far and it's jamming on there and blah blah blah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's get that off there and see if I can sort that out. And, right? Oh, I'll just have to be a two-handed operation with this. So hang on. We'll just see if this camera will set up over here somewhere in a box. Put me in a box. Yeah, so there we go. That's that comes off, right, once again. And then I've worked and worked and worked to get that in there, so now I gotta work and work and work to get it back out of there. So that'll be next. And then I'll put the fan on and then put it back together. We hope it'll be the last time. But you never know. Tab there just broke. But it was broken. I didn't break it. It was broken before. You can see here and here and here where it was cracked and previously harmed. It used to go on here, right there. I'm going to JB weld it, and then I'm going to drill a couple of holes through it and put some little bolts and nuts in there. I'll drill a hole, make a bigger hole, and tap it into there so that it holds. It's not a pressure, like once it's in, it's all okay. Well, we'll see. What's the worst thing that can happen? I'll have to get another one of these things, which I might have to get at any rate. So there you go. Don, I'm going to let it, it's hard now, but I'm going to let it set for a little while, and then I'll drill a couple of holes like in that way. A hole here and a hole there, just to try and get it to get some, meat into it. Some heavy duty stuff. Might even drill a hole straight through and put a little bolt in there. We'll just see what I can come up with. What's on there? Nothing on there. Shouldn't hurt. Famous last words, but I'll try and get it sort of straight across that thing and come out here somewhere. We'll just see what I can come up with. Whoops. So I drilled a hole here, and I drilled it like this is JB welded on here. But JB weld, of course, won't hold that kind of pressure, right? So I put a hole through here, and I'll just finish this one off, see if I can get it right through. Yeah, there. Now, the plan is to think about this for a minute, but likely I'll drill it out bigger to here, then I'll tap that bit there and put a couple of bolts in, see if that'll make it happen. I was just telling Paul's here, right? And I was just telling Paul, the fun part is trying to fix it. Well, the fun's over. Anyhow, it won't fix. I tried a couple of things here, put this on and then drilled a hole. And the little hole was good, but then a bit bigger hole to have a bolt in it wouldn't quite make it. And oh dear, oh dear. So I think I'll see if I can find an alternator. And if I can, that'd be good. And if not, we'll just
put a strap across
put a
here.
strap across, yeah.
And
figure out what I can do. Anyway,
that's it.
we keep on trying. Yeah, so here I am. It's abandoned that alternator time, and I was able to find a new one from Rimmer Brothers. So now I've got this. The hood is here. Paul's going to help me get this hood back onto here. Then we'll move this car out until the new alternator comes in, and then I'll install it at that time. one of these days I might make a wind generator and see if I can use that. I've got 2 alternators that are slightly usable, and they might make a wind generator. We'll just see. One of these days might be quite some time away. So I'll pull it out of here, put it in the other shop until the new thing shows up, new alternator. And then have to bring the lawnmower in here and give it a bit of help. So we'll pull this out of here soon and get things switched around. But that's sort of it for this one. What did I do? Mostly on the alternator and on the air cleaners, some other stuff I don't even remember. But I'll get it sorted out, and hope you enjoyed it all. See you next time. Yeah, it's what is it? June 10th? June 10th. And down to the beach with Buster and I, and Paul's here too. Checking the beach out.
Not looking for sea glass.
And lots of water there now. There was low tide at 8 o'clock. It couldn't have been too low, I guess. So it's not bad now. Maybe I'll go and put my feet in the water. I haven't done that yet this year. We'll just see. Will I do that? Let's do that. See what the water's like. Hasn't happened this year yet, so we'll find out. The sand is hot. Ooh, it is cold, but that's after being in the hot. There they are, feet in the water. There we go. Proof that I do go near the water sometimes, but you wouldn't want to get your feet wet too badly. And Paul's not ready for the water yet. He can be on the beach. And the doggie's way down there, so there we have it.